Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you seasoned veterans of what we do around here. What we do around here is bring about conversations of a psychological, mental health, emotional health paradigm. We do that as often as we can, usually several times per week. We continue to do so for your benefit. And the concept of loneliness is something I help people deal with more than ever before in the last 50, well, let's see. Yeah, 15 years been working with folks, about 18,000 folks, 4,000 couples, and continue to do so. Would love to be of assistance to you if coaching is something that you need. Please feel free to reach out at PO Perception on Twitter or in the About Me section of this YouTube page, and we can make something happen from there. So, signs that loneliness is a major issue for you. One can be lonely even around people, and a lot of people don't understand that concept because if you don't feel connected or you don't feel like you're fully engaged with the individuals that you're around, it can be just as lonely to be physically in the same room with or talking to people. But if you feel like an outsider in that context, then you're going to continue to have kind of feelings of where do I belong and what sort of belonging is there, and that can be super, super challenging and ultimately quite painful for individuals who are constantly in that position. And just being in the same room with another person or having them call to check on you if you don't really feel connected to them can be almost more painful because the connection is closer, but you still can't reach it, and that can be super painful for a number of reasons. The next thing there is to look at these individuals who are super lonely get extremely obsessed with plans or things. That is, if something changes, a change for them is a major hurdle. It's a major issue. I remember dealing with somebody who, an acquaintance of mine, who anytime plans changed, she would completely flip out and be almost inconsolable. But the reality of her social isolation challenges were strictly because she did not feel confident or comfortable around people when she was around them. That ultimately it became a major issue for her when she could amp up to get going to be around people, and then if people ran late or anything else, she would guard those friendships extremely closely, but also immediately assume the worst if somebody was running half an hour late or something like that. Obviously, time changes can be challenging, but if you are in healthy and meaningful relationships that matter to you, obviously having those levels of reaction is not typical, and so that becomes a problem too. The next thing that people often do is they overshare if they are in a relationship with a person who may, at some level, be new in their life, but they feel a strong connection with them. The oversharing is really because, in a lot of cases, the level of stress that a person feels when they don't have a strong relational process can be extremely difficult, can be extremely hard to manage and to deal with and to get through in a really good way there. And so that becomes super, super valuable to at least think about and kind of be, um, kind of be looking at and kind of just identify the ways in which people are making their decisions. The next thing there is they may even put a lot of pressure on themselves to be perfect in their interactions with, or close to perfect in their interactions with the idea of the relationships that are there, and ultimately, get into an unhealthy place or not be in a good place there, not be in a place that really um, things, ultimately don't go in accordance with the right way to be or a healthy way to be. So we continue kind of looking forward in that general perspective. Next thing there is desperation and the press for continuation of conversation. That is, getting into a conversation, holding on to it longer than is typical, healthy, or advisable. People who lack a lot of social interactive often will try to stretch communications and connections longer than they should be simply because of those sorts of challenges. So hopefully this is helpful. Encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.